or chatters are solely the views and opinions of the source who express them. They do not necessarily reflect the opinions and the views of Trustco Group International, the broadcast regulators in Namibia, or that of the Informanté Radio station.
This is Informanté Radio, the sound for a new age.
Every day we bring you
the hottest music.
ultimate music
It's some outrageous conversations.
Did you know get no amber it's gesed? So are you saying Namibian men were not romantic?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Huh?
Yes.
Values of Namibian men. Is there anything good about us?
Yeah, I'm striking a blank.
She is striking a blank.
You know what?
Let's get to the real thing. The mornings on Informanté Radio. The sound for a new age.
I'm feeling myself and not touch. Matiko kwa menuka kawafura monturo. Katuka ngashi kompato mafuta. Kade katsa, potemba fia kota tomate. Kenda kwacha, donda fika manga wena kusha. Kade katsa, potemba fia kota tomate. Obi fofo dolo, kucha puita di polo. Sega ate o aikara ukiri. Kumsaro wate o hakukara wopa. Ukamati kwa bihakara wompoita. Karanto fai. Sega ate o aikara ukiri. Kumsaro wate o hakukara wopa. Ukamati kwa bihakara wompoita. Chala utole pointa Nash tomani ko usiku ya poima Ova nuna vacheta la kompoita Ukadona na vakale veli molaina Dasai Ona kuchalo kakoto komati Ove tuisha shoka kende komati Eshitoka tu komati na itoko keku di caletini per pocket nel giato Sega ate o aikara ukiri Kumsaro wate o hakukara wopa Ukamati kwa bihakara wompoita Karanto fai Sega ate o aikara ukiri Wate o hamukara wonpai Ukamati kwa bihakara wompoita Karandopa I swear it's more than the kutu da chala I'm a really nice guy, shout out la moshipala Chalo, loco pamba, chalo, chala chalo, oh para, ay cara ukiri, kumsaro o hakukara wopa, ukamati kwa bihakara wompoita. Karanto fai Sega ate o aikara ukiri. Saro wate o angukara on fire. Okabati go.
Push, gotta go fire. This song, man, it just doesn't get old for me. It is Gazlam with Swagger, needing no introduction, and that's how we say good morning to you on this Thursday right here on Informanté Radio. Welcome to the morning mix. Maria is also back in the studio today.
Good morning. Oh, I'm feeling so good.
Look at how much energy she gave me.
Yeah, I know, I was sick. So now I am myself.
Tati Neville, Nginyan, I see you're doing your stripper moves there on Gaza song.
Luister, asseblief. Today, in this studio, I want order. Okay? Because for the past 2 days, the studio was a mess.
Okay, yes, please.
Oh
because of you.
I agree.
So I know somebody was in the hot seat.
Yesterday. Shines, come sit me.
Let me tell you guys something, right? Watching it from home.
Yes.
Were you watching it from home?
I was watching it from home, not live though. Afterwards, because I was just not well.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, you are so brutal. But apart from all of that, Shines was so nervous. Watching it from home is interesting because I can see his nerves because I also know him.
Yeah.
So as she be the comments come, the spar comments is very so he tries to bring in other stories quick, fast, so that you don't read the comments. Because what Shines is doing is reading the comments as they come in. So he's seeing them before you.
Yes.
Yeah, I just see the face. I like his face because I'm also
Shines told me, Neville, now I understand what you guys are going through.
Yes.
So you guys think I'm being dramatic when I walk out of here? This is abuse. It's abuse. Sometimes you need to remove yourself from a volatile situation.
He said he threatened yesterday. I'm leaving.
I think he walked out twice.
You went to go check there on the. It's like man.
But I agree that maybe we should start switching just to expose,
Spice things up.
To expose Shines to these unruly viewers.
But thank you for putting your big boy pants on yesterday and feeling Maria's very big shoes. Yeah.
You didn't fit my amper. Almost. There was just a little bit of space.
Centimeters.
Yeah. Next time, put on some thick socks. So then you shall be.
Shines wants to. He wants to pack up his equipment and go now because we're talking too much about.
Listen.
Hallo, jy het gesê ons moet order hê.
Order.
Honorable Speaker.
There will be, and you want order now, huh? Neville.
Dan begin hy so, dan sê ek kan maar order.
No, Neville. You want order, but we know we're not going to have order tomorrow in studio with Delish.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's going to be an interesting show.
Right?
I spoke again to her yesterday, and I said, Delish, you can't drop us, please.
Yeah.
Neville. Hey.
But she's a fiery one.
Yes,
she
she's
will
fiery.
Fire back. Muni sama Delish spill.
Nee, so
the entanglement issue.
So we are really looking forward to that. Really,
I'm excited.
It's going to be an interesting one, but that's for tomorrow. For today, of course, let's get into the business of the day. We start with the inevitable COVID-19 update that we have to give.
Jy klink al net soos daai oom van jou. Oh, sorry, it's your uncle. I'm sorry. Sorry that I gave you family that's not yours.
Yes, that's
Jay and your oom.
Oh, yeah, it needs me oom.
Yeah,
It's family.
Jared.
Okay, please give us the update like my oom would.
Yes.
You guys must start like a mathematics class and you're just good with adding numbers up. Anyway, and we have 104 recoveries.
Yep.
That is the situation around the country in on the grand scale of.
But something came out.
Vroeg,
yeah, something came out very interestingly in the minister's update yesterday. He spoke of an Ngela case. Okay, the case that was recorded in Ngela was a woman that had traveled from Walfish Bay, I'm assuming without a permit because it's in lockdown, go and attend in a region, didn't report herself to authorities, didn't check herself in quarantine. It became known because the community members then reported her to authorities because they knew she came from Walfish Bay.
Oh my gosh.
In which case, then they came to take her, put her in a quarantine facility, tested her, and she had tested positive. This is somebody that had traveled to the north to attend a wedding. So negligent. Lucky she was put in a quarantine facility before she attended the wedding.
Yeah.
Because then I just, again, cluster infection. And when we say start prosecuting these people, this is what we're talking about. Because how negligent can you be? It's
irresponsible.
very irresponsible.
To the point where you're endangering other people's lives.
Of course, and that's always the issue. It's not so much about yourself. It's the people you're going to expose.
Yes.
And yes, you can make a case and say, or an argument and say, well, I didn't know I was. Well, you're in the epicenter and you're in lockdown.
You are not supposed to have traveled from there.
If you're sneaking out of a region to go attend a wedding where you know it's at least with a 250, that might be the maximum capacity. That's a lot of people to interact with.
Yes.
And we know some people don't stick to the 250 protocol. Some community people will still make their way into the wedding. So very, very negligent. But what I'm saying is at some point we need to start taking serious action against people that do that because it is negligent. But apart from all of that, you just need to take a more a strong stance to show that there are consequences for these actions. And we also know even the child in Marienthal tested positive because somebody had managed to sneak their way out of Walfish Bay, went to go stay at relatives at Marienthal, and that's where the child was exposed. Likewise, the case at, I think, Bank Windhoek, the staff member had gone to a party that weekend, and apparently in attendance was somebody that had just arrived or had recently traveled from Walfish Bay. The fact that people are still traveling from Walfish Bay, I know they are probably sneaking out, but if you're caught, people should be prosecuted. This is not a joke. It's
It's true.
Yeah, and even the children in the school that are spitting on tables, maybe they think it's a joke, but there should be consequences. And at some point, we need to start taking a more serious and no-nonsense approach so that people get the message. Want sommige Namibians willen verstaan nie.
But they're behaving like children.
Yeah.
If you just call it what it is, they are behaving like children. And normally, children take sort of their cues from their parents also. Yeah. If you are very relaxed and it's like, ay man, muniso makni. And then you just leave it.
Or you laugh.
Yes, or you laugh it off. Yeah. The behavior continues. So you parent, of course, is government in this in this scenario. But they need to take a much sterner stance on this and show people that there are going to be consequences. I mean, how do you declare a state of emergency and then still allow people to do whatever they want? Then why are we in a state of emergency to begin with?
They let people travel. There's no consequence for going out.
Exactly. That means don't
But I made a comparison, and maybe it will get you into the frame of mind of Namibians. I was saying, you're talking about people that only wear seatbelts to avoid getting a fine, not for their own protection. You know how Namibians are.
Exactly.
You see a traffic officer, you put on the seatbelt. When the traffic officer is gone,
you take
it off. But you're not understanding that a seatbelt is for your own protection.
It's not for the officer, it's for you.
Exactly.
It's for you.
And I'm seeing the same mentality with the masks. Like you wear your mask to enter an establishment. Once you're in the establishment, you take it off. It's for your own protection and for the protection of other people. Please, like a seatbelt, don't do it because you're scared of a fine or do it for your own protection. It's very simple. It's a hoekom moet ons hierdie goed elke dag preek?
You've really accumulated all your energy.
Reinvigorated.
I'm ready for anything. I'm ready for anything.
Okay, please don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
They'll come out.
I'm just kidding.
Come on. She's ready for anything. Throw it.
I'm hyped. No, I'm just kidding. Continue.
Throw 10 things at her and let's see what sticks.
No.
Come on.
I will walk out of the studio like Shine. I will leave.
No. Let's get that kind of fire.
I wonder. No.
Nee?
I've never had a moment where I felt like walking out. No.
of the
Because
studio.
nobody pokes fun at you.
No, people do poke fun at me. It's a...
You are the favorite on the show.
Kanji.
Yeah.
We are the black
Favorite
sheep.
child.
It's the star of the show. No. Shines is the star of the show.
Maria, you are the favorite.
No, hello. Listen.
I'm just the prettier one.
Yeah. You, Maria, the flag out there. You can even hear people's comments if you're not in studio. Yeah. You know, there are no perfect analysis on the show today.
Yeah.
You
guys are just talking nonsense. Where's Maria?
There's no intellect. Yeah. We want somebody with intellect.
Such insults.
Yeah. You understand? What? No. The worst is, what is the topic for today?
Like a pregnant talk.
Let me just.
So it's good, Maria. It's good that you're in the studio today.
Yeah, no, it's always nice to have the team together. Let's read a few comments before we jump into other things. There is something that I really want to chew on.
Before you chew on that one, we need to chew on another one.
Which one?
Yeah, maar lees eers.
Yeah, because lees eers a paar comments. I'll sit by.
Yeah.
Good morning, crew. Watching from Mapua this morning. Morning, John. Semi Natangwe Sam. Studio is never the same without Maria.
Oh, you guys are so cute.
There you go.
Yes, and Sebi Kapitako watching us from Baltimore. Good morning, my people. Good morning.
Baltimore is in USA.
I hope this...
Goddamn.
where were you yesterday when we had an American in the studio, man?
Yeah.
An
You know what I mean?
An Namibian American, not an African American.
Yesterday. So somebody said, like, what? Bust a rhyme or something.
I saw that.
Say, me and my mama had beef. It's just dumb, G. Ooh,
I watched it.
Just buy a dumb. So
Ek is jelle wat die probleem is.
me and my
But heads
mama.
off to you, Shines. You did a very great job.
Yeah. Roviera is saying, order in your family WhatsApp group, Neville. Hier gaan ons aan.
This Ro.
Roviera.
What is he? What Nasi is he?
Vra hom. Hoekom vra jy
Nego,
vir
I
my?
want to know because Ro was when we were talking about coloreds, and he was poking at the coloreds. So, but I always
Nee.
thought Ro Vieira is supposed to know a colored.
Nee, wat 'n swart color dis hy.
Oh, sorry, Ro.
Anyway, I'm glad you feel better today, says Sebi.
Thank you. I feel good.
Hey.
Dango Zapashu.
Monday when I was sick, nobody asked me on Tuesday.
You were not sick. Your daughter was. That's bad.
Yeah, I was sick.
Oh, I thought you said you have to watch your daughter because she's sick.
Luister nee, I didn't write the message in Afrikaans. I wrote it in English on the
Okay,
group.
sorry.
It's I had a terrible shoulder pain.
Neville Timo vra, Neville, waar was jy maar toe gister?
Cindy, then the abuse starts. Huh?
Okay.
You can't just let me have 10 minutes of peace.
Mark van der Komea. Okay. Morning, guys. Watching from the epicenter of COVID in Namibia. That would be Wildfish Bay. Good morning, my man. Martin Emutoni, the minister is reporting cases of June. That he's reading now. Maria praat nog met jou oom.
Nah, I lost my own asseblief.
Davu Nunyango, Maria is right. We have a social responsibility to protect ours. Why don't anybody ever say Cubase is right also on the show? It says Maria is right that we hear. Nee, man.
We also hear a lot of marriage. So you must take in the good and the bad.
Right, but yeah, we have a social responsibility to protect ourselves and those around us. Definitely, people should be prosecuted for trying to, infect others with COVID knowingly. I mean, we did this when people were trying to infect people with HIV on purpose back in the day. So we're sitting, on such a situation.
Yeah, that's deemed a crime. If you knowingly infected somebody with HIV, you were prosecuted. You were prosecuted.
Well, nobody's been prosecuted, but it's a crime,
Yeah.
Raymond, because it's kind of difficult to prove also the person's intent, even sometimes.
Yeah, that's
it's
the
unclear.
problem. But with COVID, it's straightforward.
Bly by deze, jy besluit nee, ek cheap uit. Raymond Besson, die bene het gekook gister in die studio. Keep up the good work, guys. Ja, vandaag kook ons maar tangara.
Ons kook, wat kook ons morgen? That would be interesting. If today is matangara.
So tomorrow we must put a red cloth here. We must make it the red table.
Maria Roviera is saying, Maria, ek en Jay is sele. Angolan almost bamboo.
Hamba.
Yeah.
So,
Vera.
actually, the surname should have
Vera.
given me some direction of that Portugueseness. But me, I'm Ileka.
Come on. Shucks. Cubase, you are right, brother. Thank you, man. Yeah, also I agree with Cubase 1. Thank you.
1 point for Cubase.
I Q, JK en dan Jay's altijd recht mee, oh. Knuckles. Oh, dankie. Oh, you see, now I'm getting so much love. You guys. Cubase, you are right. No one ever says Cubase is right. Thank you. Oh,
You are right. You are right.
Yes.
Nobody ever says Cubase is right.
They backhanded compliment.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Maria, what do you want to chew on first?
Wanted
Let's start with what.
I was gonna chew on. Just quickly, let me read it for you, so that you're not telling me what.
Okay, come on.
Yeah. Zimbabwe signs $3.5 billion compensation deal with white farmers.
Okay.
Just read the intro. This is an article by one of those Veo News. It's an international platform, but in any event. Says Zimbabwe's government signed a $3.5 billion agreement Wednesday to compensate white farmers displaced during a sometimes violent land redistribution program 2 decades ago. The government hopes the deal will attract foreign investment to improve the battered economy, but the country will have to issue long-term bonds and get help from donors to raise the money for the compensation. So, okay, it goes into it, but all of the fact is this happened 20 years ago, would have been in 2000. I'm surprised they're compensating farmers now, because the whole land reform deal or what was with no compensation. That's how they were able to take land away from white farmers. We're not going to say if the farmers also got the land ethically. This is not the point of this conversation. But the point is there was a lot of corruption and abuse. We know, like, at the time, Robert Mugabe and his family, as well as even the current president and his family, they all went to go get loans, bought tractors, got land.
Can you just hold on? Can you just take that smirk off your face?
Why?
Because, like, you want to talk about something.
No, I don't want to talk. I'm listening.
Yeah, okay. Now, can you just have a more solemn face?
Hey, I'm happy,
But
guys.
it doesn't bother me.
Oh, it doesn't bother you?
No.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Maria loves my crooked smile.
Crooked smile. Yeah.
So anyway, I'm surprised that I was saying that there was a lot of corruption, and this is how actually the Zimbabwean economy tanked at the time. Not only that, I mean, there were also war veterans that were putting pressure on Mugabe to get compensated.
Yeah.
Some even said they had 95% disabilities.
What
You would
dis-
think you'd be in vegetable state.
Yeah,
But no,
95%
just
disability.
so that they can get paid out millions. So there was a lot of, like, abuse and corruption happening, and even with this land that was taken by, I would say now, prominent people, because it didn't really benefit the people on the ground.
Yes.
But yes, now the farmers will be paid. Says here, Andrew Pascal, the president of the Commercial Farmers Union of Zimbabwe, said the agreement he signed with President Emerson Mnangagwa at the State House will bring relief to members who were driven off their farms in the early 2000s. The problem is Zimbabwe does not have the money.
Which means
The
they have to
problem
borrow it
is-
somewhere.
Yes, the problem is it will probably be footed by the people of the country, your teachers, your whoever is working through Texas. But the problem is you're basically paying off the loan of people that benefited from this land. The current leadership, the previous leadership, they never paid off these loans that they got to buy assets or goods for the farms.
Yeah.
So it's just funny that they're putting this bill back to the people that are already suffering. But yeah, that's the situation in Zimbabwe. It's very, very sad. But they're clearly doing it because they're trying to clean up their reputation with the international community. I know, for example, they can't get. We've applied for a loan
from the IMF. After
Zimbabwe,
we said we would not.
Yeah, the last one was about 30 years ago at independence. So, but for example, Zimbabwe is not a member, so they can't even apply for that.
Yeah.
But I can see that they're perhaps trying to work towards that. Yeah.
My opinion. Okay. 1980 Zimbabwe gained the independence. The British government, under the leadership of Margaret Thatcher and her cronies, promised with the Lancaster Agreement that the fair and equal distribution of land will happen in Zimbabwe from 1980. Nothing happened. As a result, you had an egotistical, narcissist president, dictator in the name of Robert Mugabe. And I do believe that in the first couple of years,
his intentions were good.
He did the right thing for his people. Okay, now obviously if you become power drunk over a course period of time, you lost focus with your people. Obviously, in my view, with the elections of 2007, when MDC really looked like they're going to be taking over government.
They did.
Yes.
The elections were rigged.
Yes, the elections were rigged.
Hello.
Finally, Mugabe remembered what the Lancaster Agreement was supposed to be. So, as was as je domino speel, and you have that last card. Aha! You people were supposed to do this. And he played that card, okay, wrongfully, okay? But the distribution of land was supposed to happen. And the British government did not honor the agreement, in my view, okay? So, long story short, those white farmers, rightfully, those farms also didn't belong to them. It didn't belong to them. I have a personal issue with compensation that must be paid to people who are not the rightful owners of these farms.
Yeah.
But look, I sort of understand, but then there's also the aspect of, I mean, yes, they did not acquire it maybe by legal means. But over the years, I've built assets and put infrastructure on the farm, put things in place which has cost me money, which you might have to compensate me for.
Somebody come into your house, they remove you, and they built a swimming pool, they built a what, and over a course period of time. So it's justified.
300 years later, you're going to have to pay my kids for that swimming pool.
I get both of you. I agree that land, because of how it was attained through colonialization, that of course this is, and it doesn't just apply to Zimbabwe. I think this is what people in South Africa are pushing. This is what Namibians also want. You know, that we should get a lot of the land. It doesn't make sense that, for example, in Namibia, over 50% of the land still does not belong to. It belongs to this about 6% white people, and including foreign white people that own land here but don't live here. So I understand.
Our president says land is not going to make you rich.
We will chew on that one. But anyway.
Are not for poor people.
Yeah. But in any event, so I get what he's saying. I get what you're saying as well, because the farmers that were there, it must have at least been 3 or 4 generations later that then did a lot of work. And not only that, it's like it would have been something else for you to get the land and improve on it, or maintain it at least, because a lot of this land could feed the nation. It was really well managed. That's not what happened. If you go to those farms now, it is a sad situation happening. It was just to get their hands on it. And then let me add to that. If you're going to take land, right, let it benefit the people.
Yes.
The people did not benefit from that land. Greedy corrupt leaders benefited from that land. Again, like I said, went to go get loans to apparently put up infrastructure on the land, but completely neglected it. And Zimbabwe is great land, by the way. But right now,
it was Africa's breadbasket at some point.
Yes, it was. It really was.
Like, look, if you look at even the resettlement farms here in Namibia, you will see that for the most part, we are not really empowering our people to be able to use this land productively. People are just being given land. And I saw this. I'm not even going to mention where the farm is, but in any case,
guys,
die mense sit in Mak 4, Neville.
Is on Gombo West.
In die sitkamer.
Ek weet.
This is a farm that was pushing out, that was actually contributing to the country's GDP. Nou sit in Mak ons 4 in die sitkamer.
Okay. Is reg. All of that is wrong. I watched the documentary last night of the former Arsenal footballer, Ian Wright, of how black footballers in England were so much marginalized. They interviewed Ashley Cole, Sol Campbell.
Dwight York.
Okay, he's not English. He's Trinidad Tobago.
But he's black in England.
But, and this is what Ian Wright said. The moment, because you're like the one, you're probably like in a team, you're the only black player in the team. You're British born. The moment you speak up in their team, you're completely out of the team.
It's like what happened in rugby when we...
What happens in rugby? I firmly believe that, again, when it comes to Zimbabwe, when it comes to funding, there are two governments. It's the Western government, whether it's America, whether it's Britain. They made sure that all funding that came to these white farmers for 300 years, it was to sustain not just them, but to sustain the kingdom. The moment, and as I say, I'm not saying Mugabe was right what he did, okay? In the last 10 selfish, chauvinistic years of his career as president. But they have done nothing whatsoever for the transfer of land to really happen from Britain, which was basically the epitome of where Zimbabwe was governed from. So the moment Zimbabwe decided to take matters into their own hand, wrongfully also, they were cut off completely. Sanctions. Sanctions all over. How can you survive if there are sanctions against you?
You should be able to survive because
Become
the sanctions.
self-sufficient.
Of course, yes. But I'm saying
guys,
the African countries did not sanction Zimbabwe, and this is what I'm trying to say about Africans becoming better integrated and working together, because the Western community sanctioned Zimbabwe.
Yes.
Zimbabwe, if Africans were doing a better job, if we had principal leaders in Africa.
No, you're right.
And this is and ultimately this is again what it boils down to.
Yeah.
Your deed cannot be good if at the end of it you manipulate it, or it's for self-gain, or it's for corruption, or it's for your own, I don't know.
But it cuts both ways.
Yeah, but like
because what happened before, okay, white farmers or the white regime did the same thing. It benefited them only. Who did it benefit?
No. That's not completely accurate, because, again, they contributed to the GDP, as you said. Not only that, for example, Zimbabwe was one of the biggest, like creme de la creme in terms of tobacco production.
No, you're right.
People would come there and bet. It was auctioned. Tobacco would be auctioned. They would have a market day, and all these producers of Stuyvesant, Marlboro, the big producers would come annually to Zimbabwe to get tobacco, because they had the finest tobacco in the world. And that contributes to the economy. It contributes to the GDP. So even feeding, being able to produce food, contributes to the GDP. So again, it's not just for your... I'm not saying it's correct. Please understand that. The land is ill-gotten. But if you are still contributing to GDP, there's still a case to be made. Then somebody then taking it, completely ruining it, contributing nothing, people then starving, and the land is just yours. You, the leader, you have this huge hectares and hectares of land that is not contributing neither to
Not
GDP,
productive at all.
neither to the communities. So for me, if you ask me right now, unless you put a proper, I would ultimately like land to be given back to the indigenous people or to
Yes.
the people of the country.
Yes.
But in the absence of a proper plan,
Yes.
so that you can sustain
agree.
this land, then I don't think this was the right course. And I can never commend Mugabe for doing that when the country is now in a worse
Yeah.
situation than
Yeah.
when the land was in
Yeah.
white hands. It's just, there's no
Okay.
case to be made.
But,
But for me-
is it a case of they mismanaged the transition of land from white ownership to black
It's
ownership?
not just mismanagement, it was pure greed. You cannot take land, you don't have the interest to, number one, you don't have interest in farming, okay? Number two, even if you don't have interest in farming, in at least getting people with the know-how to farm to ensure that the land remains productive. It was just like, well, I want a piece of land,
So Khanfat.
Khanfat, and that's it. You
Yeah.
left some farm workers there, left them to their own device to try and see if they can manage this. They couldn't, and even the farm
Well-
workers were just working there. They didn't even own the land.
But that's the shortcoming of government. I mean, even I want land right now. But if I get land, it doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to be immediately productive.
Yeah, exactly.
And like, and for me,
Well, 20 years later, if you're still not productive, I don't know.
But then that's what I'm saying. Government should have been doing more to sort of empower people to be able to use the land productively. I mean, and they knew. I'm sure before they made the decision or they made the announcement or whatever, Mugabe's team knew, we are going to face international backlash.
Yeah, I just
There's
don't think
going
he
to be
expected it.
sanctions. There's
Yeah.
going to be stuff like that. So that means we're going to have to learn to sustain ourselves,
Yeah.
which means this land, which is now in our hands, we must be able to use productively.
Yeah.
Like we must be able to
Yeah.
maximize its productivity.
I mean, you would listen at the time to the late president of Libya, Gaddafi.
Omar.
Yes, and he would come to the AU, and I mean, he was trying to start a currency for Africa. But apart from all of that, you will just hear what he says. He says Africa is the richest continent on earth.
Yes.
In terms of resources, in terms of minerals, in terms of everything. We can self-sustain if we all just pull together. If we all pull together and work together, we will never have to look at the West for funding, for anything. In fact, they're going to come to us. And he had the Kwame Nkrumah vision.
Sina Maria. That's why Gaddafi had to go.
That's why I had to go.
Yes,
Because-
unfortunately.
Because guys, I hear what you guys say.
Yeah.
Okay? But I'm saying again, and this is my point of view. Zimbabwe, and they ran a story on Carte Blanche where they showcased a lot of black farmers in Zimbabwe at the moment who run profitable tobacco farms.
Yeah.
Those are the images that you don't see in Western media. You just don't see it.
Of course.
Because that's not the image that they want to project out there. So if the sanctions would be lifted in Zimbabwe, all over the world, whether it's the United States, whether it's Britain, and all these Western, their allies, etc., etc., and there are proper structures put in place to get this country off the ground, Zimbabwe would become the breadbasket of Africa again. But there is no moral...
Principled leaders.
Yeah, understand. And the West does not have even principled leaders.
We don't care about the West.
No, you're right. You're right. All I'm just saying is that what has happened in Zimbabwe can't just be because of what Mugabe has done wrong. There's been the transgressions from 300-400 years ago. We can't just wipe that out completely. That's just how I feel.
But two wrongs doesn't make a right.
I understand, guys. I fully understand.
I understand what he's saying.
Yeah.
It's basically saying, well, we were better off during apartheid. At least we got...
yeah, because this is what we are saying.
Yeah. This is not what we are saying. We're agreeing with you.
Because this is how it
No,
sounds.
this is not what we're saying.
Yeah.
What we're saying is,
Die boere se tyd was na gewees.
Nee,
You spend too much time with Quentin. Gantje.
this is not what we're
This is
saying.
what you
We're
guys are
not
saying.
saying, look, even if, let's say, the case can be made that we were better off during apartheid. Apartheid was still colonialization. It's still it's still,
6 uur by die huisfees.
yeah, it's still,
Curfew.
yes, it's still a messed up system. And nobody should have to live like that. But in gaining independence, you should, the land, the resources, everything should then benefit. You cannot then gain independence where we don't have curfews, you don't have to walk with a pass, you don't have net blankers signs all over,
Yeah.
but I can't eat at night.
Ja.
Why did people die for this country to gain independence if this is the situation, this is how we were going to end up? And again, it's an issue of there are just no principal leaders. Like in Zimbabwe, even the current one is just,
Ai,
I
Mnangagwa.
mean, yes, like a
Like-
Marshall exiled by a party, but it's not just Zimbabwe, it's just Africa as a collective just does not have principal leaders. And if we did, we would be shining, we would be the beak of hope, we would be in a better situation than any Western country.
Guys, for instance,
Yeah.
if we look at all our natural resources, let's take West Africa. Study case West Africa. There's not a West African leader at this moment in time that is not in some way either connected to France, biggest colonizer in West Africa, Portugal, Belgium, and you see some of these leaders are in power for well over 30 years. Those guys make sure, because a white guy was asking me the other day, never why are put it there. Yes, thank you. Why are black leaders so very power hungry?
Yeah.
Why are they so power hungry? They sit in that seat for many years. I say, listen, you know what? You have King Leopold of Belgium, who made sure, for instance, that Mobutu Sese Seko are in power for well over 35 years in the DRC.
Yes. He served it. He served
Yes.
the purpose.
He served
for
the
me.
purpose. There's a steady supply of diamonds coming from the DRC to Belgium. They will make sure that they will keep this man in power for years on end, because there's it's a constant supply of natural resources coming from this country. This is how, for me to stand on London Bridge and I see an insignia that says some of these raw stones are directly coming from Kimberley, from the Northern Cape. These diamonds, the diamonds on Queen Elizabeth's head, comes from where?
The crown jewels.
The crown jewels comes from Kimberley.
The crown jewels are not British at all.
No, kyk net daar. So these guys have been kept in power for many years. The moment you start pulling a Gaddafi, our own currency, our own this, the United States of Africa, etc., they decided to take him out, and it's one of the reasons why my
Bush.
respect for Obama,
Yeah, Obama,
as
sorry,
much as I love Obama, but that's a
He still
clad
took
on
our leader.
his legacy.
Yes.
Huh? And what is that country at the moment?
Just
It's in
slave trade.
ruins.
Yeah.
Libya, yeah.
Yeah.
Maar okay, is nga. Is klaar gepraat. So it's a stalemate at the moment. As much as Mugabe was wrong, that doesn't make it right for me. It's klaar.
Okay.
Lift the sanctions against Zimbabwe. Let there be free trade as it was before Zimbabwe became what it is since 2007. Klaar. Then we can speak in another 20 years.
But you know that if you speak to Zimbabweans, right?
I know.
I'm saying if you speak to Zimbabweans, Zimbabweans don't really blame necessarily the West for the current state
They
of
don't.
their country.
They blame
their
their leadership.
leadership
I understand.
because they know how that leadership.
You could have
messed
done
up.
better
Yes,
for all of
messed up.
us.
There was sorry, I'm just quickly. There was somebody that said, you know, she had to grow up in. She's growing up in the UK, right? Because there are no opportunities for her at home. But she said that that was the fact that that was stolen from her, a moment where you work in your country, you can, you know,
the opportunities, you can
not
prosper.
opportunities, the fact that after work you can go to your family, on weekends you can go see your parents, you are with your nephews and nieces, growing up in your country and just having that familyness and just home, the feeling of home. She says that was stolen away from me. She's like in her late 20s, going into her 30s, and she has never really experienced that, and it was a stolen moment, and so many Zimbabweans in the diaspora feel like that. If Zimbabwe was in a great state, I promise you, most Zimbabweans would return home. They would rather be there more than anywhere else.
True.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, moving on from one ineffective government.
First read your comments.
Nee, ons wil nie kom ons gaan
Nee, ons sal weer. Ja.
Sê nie tyd nie.
Hello, man. You guys, you messed up my segue.
No, you wanted to talk about.
Let's do it again. Moving on from one
Paternity
ineffective government to one that thinks its people is stupid. Let's come back home, guys. Sit. Jay wil ek reeds vra. Even put your membership card there on the table. We want to see it. All right, guys. So we all know what happened to the community of Twaloloka in Walvis Bay over the weekend. And firstly, we must of course commend all Namibians who have really, really been pulling together to help the community of Twaloloka. And I know it's of course a difficult time that we're hello.
No, I'm just there's a very
No.
wrong
We'll
comment.
we'll come to him.
But anyway, continue.
Where was I? You threw me off.
Yes, Hanan.
Yes. What was I saying?
We will answer you, Jan.
Twaloloka, yes, we were talking. So Namibians, thank you. You guys have showed some real solidarity with the people of Walvis Bay, and I know we are all going through stuff right now, so it's not necessarily the easiest time for anybody to help. Some corporate institutions, some political parties have been donating stuff, which is all fine and well. All right. If the party wants to donate, if government wants to donate, obviously government has to
Like
be.
Swapper Party usually gave 50,000.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yes. If government wants to donate, or government should actually be the ones who are leading, right? Now here's my problem. I saw the announcement. Or I don't know whether that was from social media, one that you shared in the group yesterday, with the ministry donating some game meat. And
Saw
so
that.
yes, and so on and so forth.
Gems, bokgoede en alles.
Yes, that is awesome. It's commendable.
Let's see. 10 oryx, 5 buffaloes, 7 hartebeest.
Buffaloes. It's buffaloes, not buffaloes.
Ooh, Mr. Phillips.
Yeah,
Thank you for the collection.
Films.
Yeah, I will film you now.
Yeah.
Tell maak my
4
moeder.
giraffes, 17 elands, and 10 oryxes.
Yeah.
This is what was given to the community of
Okay.
what is now Otwea.
Okay. They've changed the name now.
Yeah, they've relocated them to a place that's called Otwea. Means we have arrived.
Oh, Tweya.
Ontsezir.
You know, these languages are so.
It's Bantu. Okay, so in any case, that is
Sorry.
that is
What is fire in Oshwambo?
Ondilo.
Ondilo.
Ondilo. No, that. Ondilo.
isn't it Umlilo?
Oh, no,
Wait a
well,
minute.
that
There is-
can be different. On Lilo and on Dilo can be Amkwanyama.
Oh, okay.
Be- be-
Dialects.
Because I saw this
Guys,
picture.
Neville, you like throwing us
Yeah.
off into another direction, you
No,
man.
how?
Ons kan teruggaan daarso by Ondilo. Krik. Is he fine?
Okay, anyway, you were saying
He's just trying to deflect from their party screw
because
ups.
he's got a short attention span. As in it word swapo.
Okay, guys.
I have a short attention span.
So let's just put it on the table
Yeah.
quickly. So government also donated that which Maria was reading out, and then the problem is they put party colors, party insignia all over that branding. Remember when Fish Rot was coming out, right? Remember when we were crying about the government or SWAPO building their headquarters while the hospital is falling apart right across from them? Then they told us, no. You must separate the affairs of the state from the party. The party is something separate. This is party money. This is state money. And now you take state money and state resources and donate, and you decide to put your insignia on. Vanchela check was on this dome, basically. So Maria, you brought up the point that, you know, how do you separate a state from party in situations like that? I think the problem is we allow things like that to happen. We who are in the media sit Neville. But
What do you
Hello,
people want?
if it's Swart Boy,
want
then you guys are
you-
here
hello.
talking a lot. Come sit
I
down.
want the spokesperson of SWAPO to answer
Yes,
this one.
sit.
Come.
What do you people want?
Hello, order, sit.
Speak for your party.
Huh?
Yeah.
Prat for your
So,
party.
so
donated.
that's not the party. It says government donated through
Minister
through
of
the
Envi-
ministry even.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, guys. It creates a lot of confusion. It creates a lot of confusion. I think, Shines, sit off dating af, man. Please. Confuses me.
No, but even I can hear you.
You can hear it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hear it
I
through
can
the
also
headphones.
hear you.
I believe PDM also wanted to make a donation the other day
Yes.
towards the community.
Then they said no party colors.
And they said no party colors.
Yes.
Okay? So I don't understand where's the consistency at the moment.
And this is not even the
Wait.
party that's donating, it's government. And
So
then
if
you
the-
go put on party colors.
Now, is this maybe somebody from the party can just clarify?
No, somebody from the ministry has to clarify.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah, no, you're right. Can somebody from the ministry please clarify
Bello bra.
the, this WhatsApp or this picture that's making the rounds? Is that somebody who designed that out of his or her own? Or is that a directive that came from government? I mean, that insignia.
Yes, was that approved?
Was
by,
that approved?
by government, or is it somebody who was doing it in their own?
In their own right
Yeah.
or whatever. And that is probably what we need to establish here, because I think we really need to have consistency here.
Yes, of course.
Government and the party must be separated from each other. So now I'm even confused now. Who donated now? Was it the party who donated?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or was it now the
Before
party?
you read, you will think
It's
or
the
the government?
party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't read, you will think it's party because the branding is so big. The blue, red, green.
Maniki.
Yeah, the money. Alles is that. But when you start reading, then it says, and the only issue is when we were conflating, right?
Yeah.
SWAPO and government, especially where fish rot is concerned.
Yes.
They were like, no, you must make a separation.
Yes.
You must make a separation.
Yeah.
So they want us to make a separation when it's convenient for
For
them.
them, yes.
But when
Hey,
it's
lost the party.
to give,
Yes. It's like this will benefit us. So let's just splash a swapo on there. I know it's government.
what is it?
No, I'm listening, guys.
Oh,
No, what did you Julius?
then
It's
Julius
Julius.
comments over.
You read something
Wait,
that
let me go
irritated
down.
him.
I will
Can't
see.
you claim me, bro? What did you Julius?
I'm looking for this thing and I see that I deleted. Can you just show me that poster again?
Yeah. Hoe kom
Ja.
je, hoe moet je mijn sms's delete, mijn whatsapps, mijn...
Bobo van Wyk, typical swapo mos. This mos stemtyd alweer.
Boy, Shiri.
Does that look like a government? It's something that's coming from government.
In addition to providing mattresses, tents, and food provisions, the government, through the Ministry of Environment, Forestry, and Tourism, has also provided the following game meat. Okoro. So it is government,
Yes.
but there's a maniki underneath.
Even the colors. Look at
We
the colors.
have
in the
hurt
background.
you. The party has hurt you.
It's election year,
Yeah.
guys. This is
Yeah.
Like for the...
Yeah.
election
Let the
year.
people of Walfish Bay know the party is with you. Yeah.
Through the government.
Don't let them confuse you. The party and government is two completely different entities. I know sometimes the narrative suits the party, so they allow it to be out there, or they put stuff like that out. I mean, it benefits you for people to think if I work for government, I work for SWAPO. So why would I want to change their minds?
Guys, can I ask you the question now?
Yeah.
Is there something wrong in principle, whether it's LPM under their colors, PDM under their colors, SWAPO under their colors, take a donation and take it to the people?
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong.
No.
Okay. So the question
Just like
here,
there's nothing wrong with SWAPO to do it either.
Yes.
yeah.
There's also
So,
nothing
but
wrong
the
with
question here is equally, jointly intertwined, being SWAPO and government.
yes.
So the question here is, why are they not separated two brands?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, and this is now where you people come with these fish rod links.
Yes.
Lost the party, eh?
No, Fish Road was not a link, it was an example.
Yeah.
We were referring to what you guys told us.
Yeah.
It's like, hello, we are the party. Don't call us government. Government is run by the party, but government is government, and
Yeah.
the party is the party.
We're just saying it's very difficult to make a distinction. And,
Yeah.
and for example, on Tuesday, I'll give an example. I was complaining because I'm on Twitter and Exinet the President van hierdie land on Tuesday is still tweeting about the SWAPO things that happened over the weekend.
Oh.
He had, at this point, had not even addressed Twaloloka.
Yeah.
And you are still
Oh, Havana.
solidarity of the party. We are unified. Nobody can break us. On Tuesday, 2 days after the incident at Twaloloka, and I just thought, my goodness, you are a national leader. You are the president
Of the country also.
country. I don't care for your party politics right now.
Yeah.
Right now, I need a leader. I need my president to speak up and give assurances, not just to the people of Twaloloka, but to the nation that all will be well, that we are. Mark Rechman, volume. Okay, I think we should. Can we just sort this out because it's like the comments, guys. Volume, please, guys. There's another fire at.
Yeah, I
okay,
see.
no, now it's something else.
What happened, guys? Sound guys. Shines. Da 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 da.
Do you need to Peter with something?
Shoot ons gaan, moet ons gaan. Is the SWAPO government, they cut our network.
See, when you talk about SWAPO. Come on, they sound rot in the studio. Yeah. Yeah, I can hear.
Is it okay? I can hear myself.
Yeah, now you say we can hear now.
Oh,
All right.
okay, cool. Thanks, Shines.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, I saw SWAPO prat, you know, if
Yeah.
Neville makes one phone call to the party.
Yeah. Talk again about SWAPO.
Yeah, SWAPO.
Yeah.
Or
Anyway.
South Africa.
Yeah, anyway, before I was so rudely interrupted. I was complaining about my president talking about SWAPO affairs on Tuesday after Twaloloka. He had not addressed it. I have a serious issue with that.
Yeah.
I really do. Principle is just wrong.
Well, it shows that, like, right now you're more concerned with leading the party than leading the country.
Yes.
Then why did you contest the presidency if you don't want to lead us?
Yeah. Nee, man.
Ons kon nou met, wat is Swartboy gezet as president, man?
More like Itula.
Yeah, no. No, it was way too late. Itula is apparently making a comeback with the party. We should actually try and get him in the studio. If Maria can talk to her boss.
Shines your ewige
Mochter.
What is it? Mochter.
No, yesterday he couldn't
Yeah,
say
yeah.
Mochter, so he went Mochter, yeah. Oh yeah, you watched the show, Mas.
Ewige mochter.
That killed me. It killed me yesterday.
All right, guys, quick hits before we go. What's
Now,
on the menu still?
On the menu is you wanted to address that video of paternity.
Oh, yes. I remember the guy. I
Yeah.
remember where did you even find it? Oh,
No, it's circulating on social media. So, okay, I'm sure you guys have seen this video right now where this lady is washing the diesels.
Yeah.
She's washing the diesels.
Yeah.
And the boyfriend, I'm assuming, or her partner,
Yeah.
says, oh, okay, they're celebrating apparently their daughter's 3rd birthday. And he's
Yeah.
like, I also got you something, mama. And she's like, oh, really? Look at you. She opens, and it's a bottle, and it's bag into bag into bag. You know, now the gift is becoming smaller, and then eventually she pulls out an envelope. And he's filming all of this. And she's like, oh, what did you get me? This better be tickets to wherever she wants to go.
No, I want to go to where?
Yeah. And he's like, open it. And she opens it, and it's DNA test results that the child
Is
is
not
not
his.
his. And he's like, you have till the end of the month.
You and your
to-
daughter
you
get
and your
out of
daughter
my
get out
house.
of my house. And she's obviously like, what do you mean? She loves you.
Why did you do
Why did
that?
you do this? Why today? You had 3 years to do this. Anyway, it sparked a debate on, I think, all social media platforms
Yeah.
about,
Hoekom lieg julle so?
Yes, there is that.
Yeah.
Hoekom lieg julle so, Maria?
soms
Hoekom?
weet ons nie.
There is that. But, relationships become so complicated when there are children involved.
Hey, gaan man.
It does, okay, but in this one, it's
Yo.
and I got a lot of a lot of men were like, yeah, this is wrong. Not just men, even women, like that it is wrong. But you see, the problem, for example, in Namibia, and the issue of false paternity is actually an issue that is not addressed a lot in this country because, unfortunately, for example, if you suspect that your children are not yours, to do a DNA test, it's about 5,000. Not everybody can afford
course.
$5,000. And I know there's been calls to make DNA testing free because so many men are raising children that are not theirs, supporting children that are not theirs. And, this can be a serious bone of contention. But yeah, it sparked, I would say, what I would call like very interesting debates on social media. So what is your position? How certain are you
Guys,
that your children are yours?
My children look like me. Eyes, nose,
Yeah?
klar.
So maybe the mother is not their mother.
Yeah, maybe the mother is not the mother. But my kids, my children, I will not dispute, if I had a girlfriend and there's a dispute. Ja, nee, kyk, daai cherrytjie van Joseph was ook as my Cubase geweest. Ek sê that I can't dispute
Yeah.
if she was with Cubase. But these kids, as my kinders hierdie.
But like,
But what I'm just trying to say is, guys, this is it's a difficult position to be in.
yes.
I can't say here, okay, now, my daughter is 11 years old now.
You've raised her from.
I raised her. Okay. I've done everything with my daughter. From,
The next
But-
Serena
but-
Williams.
yeah, that's what I'm working towards.
Yes.
It's the first Ayanda Bason.
Okay, yeah. Dankie. Thank you very much. For a man to come out of nowhere and say, listen, I had an affair with your wife.
I suspect I understand.
I suspect Ayanda is my daughter. I confront my wife, and I can clearly see she's in 6s and 7s about
Yeah.
it. The bond that I've sort of developed with my daughter for over 11 years. Yeah. I don't know. I really don't know. You know what? It's one thing to be egotistical and make jokes about and say, laat sy net gaan.
Yeah.
She's got a month to go.
Yeah. But if you're really invested in the well-being of this child, it becomes very difficult.
Yeah, but it does. That's why I was
It's
saying
difficult, man.
It becomes complicated when there are children involved because there's one of our regular listeners. I'm sure he's sitting and listening or watching right now. But he's not like it was not a paternity mix-up, right? But it's a relationship, a stepfather relationship. But then the relationship stops working out. But you have become everything to this little girl. Like everything. The father is basically
Mogo.
he's nergens nie.
Hy's a mogo.
Yeah, so even now, he sits there torn Because, like, I don't necessarily want to be with Maria anymore.
Yeah. But
The kids.
And if the
kids are
mother
still,
goes,
yeah.
the child goes with it.
And the kid still calls him daddy. It's like, can we go visit daddy? When is daddy coming to come pick me up?
Yeah.
So it's a complicated situation.
But yeah, in the first place, as strong as you feel about, and obviously your activism when it comes to violence against women and children, etc. So, you know what? We are in solidarity with it. But obviously through your activism, you are on the front line, with this. Maria, there's nothing, if you want to find something with me that makes me equally as fiery as you are about your frontline stuff, is it when a man does not take care of his children.
I get it, yeah.
I have no respect for any man.
I'm the same.
If you're out there and you're even watching the show, there's a muhu. If you have children out there somewhere, you don't take care of them emotionally, you don't take care of them financially, I have no respect for such a man.
Yeah.
If you use, maar die vrou wil nie, ek moet na by die kind kom nie. If you use that as a stupid excuse, you are a weak man.
Yeah.
Because you know what? All of us had baby mama dramas. Okay? And
It's the almal nie.
many men had baby mama dramas where this woman, because you left her, she doesn't want you to see the child, and you will do everything in your power to become part of a child's life.
Yeah.
So this
And I can attest, it's like me and the father of my kids, we've always co-parented well. We've
Yeah.
never had any drama.
Yeah.
But I promise you, if today I decided I'm going to keep his children away from him, I can forget it. It's never going to happen. That man will come out,
Hi.
guns blazing for his children.
What?
I know
My
that.
goodness.
It's
As
not
a-
even
as a metaphor.
war. Yeah, I'm
not
it's
guns
even-
blazing.
It's not even a
Yeah.
war. It's not even a war I want to take on.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's a war I will lose. And no, it's not even something I would want for my children in any event. But I'm just saying, if you really want to be in your children's life, nothing can stop you. But this is not the topic. The topic is false paternity.
Maar is mos anyway net jou ma en God wat ken wie is jou pa.
Soms your eie ma ken ook nie.
Nee. Moving on. Moving on. Order, please. Let's move on.
How certain are you guys that your father is your father?
No, I've seen my father. I mean, I wasn't raised by my father. I didn't have a particular relationship with my father, but I knew who my father was.
Yeah.
And my talent, the God-given talent that I have today in entertainment,
But you can't
comes.
sing in them.
No, I know I can't sing.
But your father could sing.
He could sing. He was a brilliant singer, but he was also an entertainer. Apparently, my father was one of the
But
funniest
is
men.
entertainment something that is inherited?
It's inherited. I can see it filter through my kids in some way or the other.
But do you think they just picked that up because they're around you, or because if you were not around, do you think they would still be entertainers?
So
Enough
wait,
to show up.
you think your father is your father because you are both enteners? Is that what you're
No,
telling
not
me?
just that.
He looks like
some
you.
of his facial features. I can see the cop, the bless, the
But yeah.
nose.
You can see the resemblance.
Yeah, I can see the resemblance.
Yeah, I think the point.
Even my voice, my vocal cords. Some of my family members on my paternal side, if I speak, say yar,
Klink net soos
klink,
jou pa.
no net,
Soos jou
soos-
pa.
yeah. Sometimes I've heard that one also.
Then it's easy. I think if you look like your father, there's no dispute. But I'm just saying this generally. You can never know 100%
I-
unless you look like.
I grew up in such a big family, especially my paternal side. So that was, I don't know, man. If you were given to the wrong father, your mom always made sure you stayed in close proximity to your real father. Like, nee, julle gaan met oom Neville plus toe. Just because she wants you to form a relationship with oom Neville, because one day she's going to tell you guys, I guess. But yeah, it's not something that was commonplace, I guess.
Yeah.
Even for me, young, like, kinders kan maar kom rondhardloop daar in die huis. Just bring them. If they're mine, bring them
Yeah.
to me.
What's not commonplace?
Kinders afstreed en goede man and stuff like that.
But how?
I don't know. It's just not, I don't know. It's just not something I grew up seeing a lot. But
It's
Howard.
it's very common. Afstray. Afstray is not sometimes that you're not even the father. In my culture, we see in a lot of Oshibambo families, just the man not.
He's
and
just not there.
He's just not there. So it's like he doesn't
It's his
acknowledge
kid.
your.
Even though he has acknowledged, oh yes, my kid, but like
yes, but it's not involved in any of your upbringing or anything. But even as this discussion was going on, I said, and I understand it's also the same in the Herero culture. I mean, our cultures, our traditions are aware of false paternities, and I was saying this yesterday. Is, for example, a man's maternal sister's children have more rights to his assets than his own children. Why? Because with his sister's children, he knows for a fact are bloodline.
it's blood.
You
Hierdie
can't deny that. Your sister se
Sy
kinders
bietjie na
is
maar,
your
waar kry
family.
jy na maar?
You and your sister from the same mother, her children, you know for a fact are relatives. Your brother's kids, hey, okay. Your
But your sister's kids.
But your sister's kids are definitely your bloodline. And that's why
waar, man.
even with the kings, like king's children cannot get the throne. It has to be matrilineal. And even in terms of chiefs and stuff, it would be the daughter, like the daughter's kids and not the son's kids. Okay? So
I didn't know
it's really to preserve
The bloodline.
bloodline inheritance, to make sure that the people that get it are your blood relatives. So your kids
But like let me just I just want to put this forward
Jy het nie
also.
comments gelees vandag. Ek sê jou net, you need to start reading comments.
Hey,
Yeah, you need to give them at least 5 minutes. of
Wat
time.
sal julle maak? Anyway, I'm going to read them now, guys. Neville, if you have been raising a child for 5, 6, even 3 years,
Yeah.
and I'm sure by then you have formed a serious bond with this child. That's it.
you could still let go.
But that's
3 years.
Yes. Does it then really matter in the end whether the child is
That's
biologically
what I wanna
yours?
know. Wouldn't you still want, like, I understand
Depends on
you,
I mean,
what
we-
kind of man you are.
We can raise adopted children. We can raise stepchildren.
Yeah.
We can raise.
Yes.
Ons doen al die goede. So I mean, obviously it's going to hurt because you are lied to, but at the end,
It's gonna take a while.
difference. Yeah.
It's gonna take a trial Kanye West, Kim Kardashian period of separation. Just staan net bietjie weg. Let me just breathe.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm not saying the marriage can continue. Okay? It could be that something like this can cause the breakup of our relationship between me and Maria. But Maria, you must understand, okay? Even though you lied to me, okay?
It's my kid.
It's my kid. I raised this kid for the last 3 years.
I don't have to have fathered her to be her father.
Don't tell the
not
child.
many men will
Nee.
take that
Or
position.
things like that.
I think I probably would have reasoned differently 25 years ago.
Hey, 25 years, I would have burned the house down.
Especially if it's your only child.
Yeah.
I think it's yeah. But I get you. I think if you've raised the child and you claim to love them genuinely, then the blood relation. I understand that with them you can let the mother go.
Yeah.
You understand there's ultimate betrayal.
Yes, they
there.
can cheat.
Not just cheating, but lying is I think even the
Yeah.
worst of it.
Yeah.
So I understand that. But if you claim to have a bond with a child and you recognize the child to be yours, because what makes a child yours is not bloodline. Just to be clear, that's why people can adopt and love the child equally, and it just wouldn't. Or they can love their stepchildren just as much as their biological, because it's not the blood that makes that bond. But so I don't understand. I think I would also like judge a man that is willing to
Just cut off.
just
even
cut
the
off.
kid,
It's
yeah.
like it seems like you were just waiting. How do you just, if you claim to love a child?
Because you're taking the frustration on the parent, on the cheating mother or lying mother, whatever, the betrayal that you feel, and you're taking it out on the child. And I mean, especially a young child, they're in a situation where they don't even really understand what is happening. They just see someone is there one day and then the next they're not. Yeah. Like, I think we're gonna ban your cell phones from the studio.
No, it's a picture here that says, on the 29th of August, we are marching from City Police Headquarters to Chopsis to demand free access to DNA testing and reparations for racing kids that are not ours, and free car insurance. I don't know what the car insurance is.
Yeah. So just throw that in there as well. And let's read a few comments. Shines, there's a request here from Liva Hiskia. Laat Shines last 5 minutes bietjie opkom asseblief.
Ja, kom.
Asseblief, ons wil bietjie lag. Alright, Battery Low saying, Walla, how is the crew doing? Guys, donate some food for me. I'm about to die of hunger. Things are not the same anymore here in Swakop.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, Heinrich Hafeni, good question. Why many women, they do that? False paternity is huge here. Avondre Karumba, only the woman knows who the real father of their kids are. Yeah. Heinrich Hafeni, from day one, we must make sure. From day one.
You must read his other comment of Heinrich.
You're not so excited.
Yeah, and they make me sit here because I don't know whether, is the reaction to something I'm reading, something you're reading, something that's happening?
It's both.
Man. Levi Iskia, good point, Neville. Men who don't support their kids are cowards. Leave toch the cows out of this. Can't they be goated?
Yeah, goated.
Jesus. Timo Kalongo, Maria, hoeveel kinders jy?
It's none of your business. It's none of your business. I know, sorry, I've got twins here. A boy and a girl.
Bobo van Wyk, deadbeat fathers is vol in Namibia. Maar die cherry het regtig dom gevat vandag. Yeah, but the problem is, then guys use things like this as an excuse to be a deadbeat father. And that also is like what we were saying earlier on. Two wrongs don't make a right. Mbeha Rian Clorets, watching from Katima Mulilo, where there's only two self-developed tarred roads.
Yo.
Self-developed. What is self-developed? What is that?
The people of the community.
They build it themselves.
They build it themselves. Maybe they were dancing like the Vambus, like this one said, the potholes. Never.
Yes. I don't get, but your region also voted for this government. Heinrich Hafeni, if the kid does not look like me, so var, I will go to Ohoroment.
Like to the government. Funny.
Wilson Zunye, but then there are times the men are not told about the child. It's tough. Yes, that also happens.
But generally, if a woman is hiding a child from a father, there's generally the sense of protection there.
But why? Do you think I'm going to take the kid away from you?
No, sometimes maybe you're just a violent person and you don't need that person around the child.
I'm not violent, and I suspect someone is keeping a child of mine away.
Let's hope Meme Paula is not tuned in.
How do those things happen in marriages, Never? Like for you who's been married and know all of a sudden Rock the Lighty up is 12-year-old.
Yes.
It's Jonah. I like precies so. He looks more like you than the kids that are in the house.
I think that happened to Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Actually, I've got a friend.
It happened to him.
I've got a friend in a weird predicament. He's got a daughter. Always wanted a son. So apparently years ago, this girl used to work for him. Right? She was engaged but not married. They then started having an affair. Okay, and then it's just an office affair. So then she ended up marrying her fiance while she's pregnant. Okay, so it's years later. It's the only child that couple has. He was telling me he went to the airport and then runs into this woman and her husband. Okay, and sees their son. He's basically around the age that they were having an affair, and he saw himself.
Carbon copy.
Now, the reason I know about it is he went to the woman's then Instagram and tried to take a screen. Found her on Instagram. So he sent me a picture to ask, but this was before he told me the story. So I just saw the picture and I was like, oh, I didn't know you have a son. Congratulations. He was like, yeah, right? Looks like me, right? So he starts telling me the story, but he's in a predicament because then he instantly knew that was his son. Always wanted a son. He's got a daughter already. Yeah. But then tried to meet the mother to just discuss this, and I think the discussion they had was like, is this my son, And she was just like, look, to be honest, I don't know. I don't think she wants to admit it. She was
Yeah.
like, I don't know, but please, you don't understand. You can't. You have to accept that.
You're gonna mess things
You're
up
gonna mess
royally.
things up. Apart from all of that, like I don't know what he's capable of. If this man loves this child so much, if he has to find out that it's not his child, he's capable of even just killing me. Like, don't, because he only has that one child.
Yeah.
I'm suspecting that because they've been apparently trying to have another child and it's not happening. So I'm suspecting that the man might be infertile and he genuinely believes that like this is his only child. And she's begging him, but now he's in a situation because he is already a doting father to his daughter. Once, obviously, always wanted a son. To find out that he has one, and the child is I think about 6 years old, so he still feels like he's got time to make up for that lost time. But the mother but he's also scared of like the harm that could not just come onto the mother, but potentially onto the child, because you don't know how this man could react.
And
Maybe
his
kill-
own family as well, the dynamics, how that would
No,
change.
he's not worried about his own family because he's not married.
Oh, he's not married.
He's not married. He's in a
okay.
partner. He's with the mother of his daughter, but they're not married. So he's not really concerned about that. And apparently, this affair happened while they had been broken up, like in between.
That's
their
what we
relationship.
always say.
Yeah, well, that's.
You remember that 2 months when?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I don't think his partner is the type that would not accept.
Yeah, okay.
You know, and he's very much the man of the house that he can, maneuver around that. So he's not worried about his own family. He's worried about what could come, the harm that might come onto this child and the mother. But the mother is also, so he's just really it's messing with his mental well-being because he cannot see himself as one of those fathers that potentially knows and does nothing. And he's talking about just what an instant connection there was when he saw the child. The child was beaming, and apparently the kid would continue talking. The mother even told him that the child continued talking about him, like he made such an impression on the child. And maybe it's just that natural bond. I don't know if it's an actual thing, but I know that a lot of men are in similar predicaments where they might know of a child, but they can't either to protect their own families, like you said, or they don't know how to maneuver in that space, and it's just so complicated.
Children, bruh, their innocence.
Maar wat zou je gaan maken in that situation?
Imagine,
Guys,
it's your wife who
I don't know,
looks
man,
and
the
says,
older-
"Young, die man die was Jane."
The
Nee,
older
man.
I get, when it comes to the protection of children, it's the cornerstone of what I feel. I will do anything to protect a child.
Yeah.
But if a relationship doesn't work out because of this, Momono, Sinjene, I say,
I'm the only person who doesn't do this.
if you are,
You guys are so disruptive in the studio.
I
That's
learned
the
from the
groot story,
bestest. I learned from Neville away. Neville is the
Okay.
bestest at it.
yeah.
So you said, would you have pursued this child? It's a tough one, not knowing.
It's a tough one. You must be in that position to say,
Yeah, no?
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, read the comments.
I'm
with Clarence.
gonna read one from Thomas Nekongo. He's saying, guys, wrap up. I need to make a phone call.
Okay, sorry.
So we are occupying people's phones here.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
My last contribution, just to wrap up, to Jan, who said that Obama was not
It was
responsible
Yeah,
for the death of Gaddafi.
it was the people in the country.
It was the people in the country.
The
They
people
were
in which
armed
country?
by the US.
Yeah.
Yes.
Obama, the US, France under Nicolas Sarkozy, and the British Prime Minister at the time. I'm not too sure if it was
Blair.
Gordon Brown. No, it wasn't Blair.
Are you sure?
No, it wasn't Blair. It wasn't Blair. It was the guy after
Yeah,
Blair.
Tony was with Hussein Saddam.
Yeah, he was with
With
Saddam.
Bush.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It
Yes.
was either Gordon Brown or the guy who came after Gordon Brown. But this tripartite movement, the three of them, decided together, under what auspices I don't know, okay, to get rid of the Libyan leader. It was a decision by them. Like Bush did to go on national television and lay out a military plan and strategy. Obama strategy. I'm Mukuru.
You know, you guys,
Tragedy.
I don't know how that word is supposed to be said anymore. but-
Tragedy.
When I go around, I'll think-
Hillary
different way.
Clinton, and it's
Yeah, there's emails as well.
it's
She said
probably the only time that I would probably in my life agree with Donald Trump. Okay? Hillary Clinton as Secretary of State, Obama, France, and
Benghazi.
Britain. They made sure that Gaddafi is not alive today.
If you want to know how they armed the rebels in Libya.
They armed them.
Yes. So
Yeah.
that's how they were involved. So they didn't do it themselves, but they armed the
Yes.
rebels.
Yes. If Obama is not responsible for the death of Gaddafi, Mugabe is not responsible for white people losing their land in Zimbabwe.
Their land.
For white people losing our land in Zimbabwe.
Yeah, thank you. We will fight that one until the end of time.
Yeah, tragedy.
Yeah, tragedy. That's the
Thomas,
tragedy.
Come on,
That's the
that's
cue
the
to-
cue to leave.
Have a nice day,
Have
guys.
a good one.
Hi, guys.
See you tomorrow for a very exciting show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mora we will have even more beautiful than Maria in the studio.
Yes. Ooh, that was by mooi.
Alright, guys, we're out of here.
No, not at all. Just very beautiful.
Yeah.
But yeah, tomorrow, tune in. We will address the entanglement. I know it's bachelor, but
Yeah,
that's the
Jelene.
cause. That's the cause of bachelor soup.
Orach.
Yeah.
Yeah, story breaker.
What's his name? Abadeo?
Adebayo.
Neville's favorite striker. Arsenal's top striker of all time.
Yeah, I hate him. I wonder
You must
can
tell
I ask
Delish you hate him. She'll agree with you.
you know, Dilis,
I don't like that guy.
that guy, ne, he's a dumb striker. And she will just go off like this.
Okay,
Dilis is ook al van gemengde locatie ook al. Very
Ja, ja.
close to us.
Ja.
Is dat gemengde of gemeente?
Nee, is nie gemeente nie. Everybody keeps on saying gemeente.
Dis wat ons hoor mos.
Is gemengde.
Mixed.
Mix. Because Damaras, especially Tswanas, Damaras, Tswanas, Namas, everybody grew up in that little area. That's why they call it gemengde. So even the old Katatura doors, you will see the G. There's a G.
Ja.
Yeah.
Ek het altyd gedink is gemeente.
Nee, is nie gemeente
O
nie.
gemeente, by, o gemeente.
Gemengde.
So who's
Mixed. But you see, there you do it yourself.
Strategies.
Koma
Strategy.
Adebayo? Vieta say Adebayo. I know.
Nee, you guys are starting to make fun of us now. Let's get out of here. Ons is terug môre en los die mic. Yes, asseblief. Tussen 12 en
He has to announce the other shows.
Hier tussen 12 en 1, it's fine, you can play with it, I killed the mic. Tussen 12 en 1 kan jy vir Dirk as vandag is donderdag. Ek dink hy gesels met een van ons units hierso by Trasco. Oh, sorry Maria.
This is how the equipment is broken in the studio. You guys don't respect the equipment. Should be prosecuted. Ciao. Have a lovely Thursday, guys.
Yes. Oh, what was I saying? Alright guys, we're out of here. Catch the hour live between 12 and 1 on Informanté Radio's Facebook page.
Every day we bring you the hottest music.
The ultimate music mix.
Some outrageous conversations.
I know a few alleged drug dealers.
This is not a drug conversation.
And I'm not.
This was-
No, but this is no drug slender will be accepted.
Do not come play snitch here on the show. Disclaimer, I don't know anything about drugs. I don't know any drug dealers.
I know.
I just want to talk about witchcraft.
Let's get to the real thing.
The Morning Mix on Informanté Radio. The sound for a new age.
Yeah. Yes, man. Check it out.